Her next section here talks about stealth secularism, right? So this is how secularism, gets itself into the mainstream of our ideas and concepts and thinking and that sort of thing, right? And she says the point about books and movies is important, right? They're used to influence and our thinking, right? She says, after all, this is how most people pick up their ideas about life, right? Our friends, the things that we read, the things that we see, and that sort of thing. That's where we build our worldviews and pick up our ideas about life, right?
It's not gold coins on the side of the road that says worldview on it, and you pick it up and you put it in your purse.
All right, I got one. I got a worldview. Yeah. There it is. She says that, folks don't think I need a personal philosophy and sign up for a philosophy course, right? Instead, they absorb ideas about life through the books that they read, the movies, the music, all of those types of cultural things that are really part of the purpose of them is to, absorb you into the particular culture and that sort of thing. And she calls this stealth secularism, and it uses images and stories to, notice, bypass our critical faculties and really play on our emotions, right? I mean, that's what stories do. Now, Christians can do this too. I mean, Ravi Zacharias was really good at telling stories and touching the emotional part of folks to help his message, right? And so Christians can do this too, but the secularists do this as well.
Yeah, and we see examples of this that are a little bit more heavy-handed too. So think of like Ayn Rand with the Fountainhead and Atlas Shrugged. So Fountainhead uses this idea of architecture as a means of conformity and nonconformity. Mm-hmm. And then in Atlas Shrugged, you have ideas of industry like the train and railroads. So, a time period for which it's speaking to, but it influenced a lot of people. And like I said, it's a little bit more heavy-handed. You probably couldn't be that straightforward with your philosophies. Right. I mean, you essentially have John Galt, 50 pages of his entire soliloquy philosophy being spewed there, and then once the TV set is turned back over to the people wanting to destroy society, they just brush it off, and there's that. So, but there's something where Ayn Rand used fiction well to establish her ideas, to get you to think about these radical ideas that she wanted to convince you to, which was objectivism and similar type of thinking.
Right. So what she's going to do now in the major portion of this particular chapter is to show these various ways that art and culture and music and that sort of thing stealthily influences what we think and how these ideas have influenced art and music and culture and that sort of thing. Right? She says high culture, these basic ideas, philosophical ideas, naturalism, the things that we've been studying, filters down to pop culture. Right? And so, for instance, materialist themes appear in movies and television, right? So all of these things then all of these ideas influence us because they're part of the entertainment that we do, the books that we read, the movies that we watch, and that sort of thing, right? She says naturalism tries to appeal by posing as tough and realistic. But she indicates that it's really not realistic enough, right? It doesn't fit the real world, so it's not realistic enough. Critics point out that literary naturalists themselves do not live by their own philosophy, and we've seen some of this as we've gone away, right? As we've gone through this book. And so that's what she's going to do now. She's going to try to walk us through some of how these various ideas have influenced areas of culture, and how then that influences our thinking. And so we need to be aware of these. She's attempting here, I think, to inoculate us, right, to give us a little bit of it so that we can now have antibodies against it. Right?